I'm going to talk now. Are we on? I'm going to talk now about extending your pathway into the hallway. Okay? So for me, um, I have to think of that as an extended pathway. And for me, what works for me. So it's my world. Okay? These pathways are my world. So now I have to extend my pathway so that I can exercise because I want to get the hell out of here. So my pathway into the hallway involves me getting up, right, from the bed. I've chosen, honestly, to do the walking for me after I use the bathroom, just because I'm already up. And so that's what I extend my pathway. So I do everything I have to, go to the bathroom, I put on a robe. Oh, I should tell you, the nurses are hilarious. And they have like words, code words, stuff like that. So one of my nurses, I have fat arms, as you can tell, and so we call this, you know, I've only have it clicked here once or twice. My my not my robe, but my gown, and we're calling it the wife beater, the wife beater attachment to the gown, and that's his. Those are his words, wife beater. And so the wife beater is that this I've chosen for the snaps to only be snapped once around the neck. It's all that's necessary for me, and because I have fat arms, I can put the robe on to go for a walk much easier when I have the wife beater, you know. When I have the gown on as the wife beater, because all of this does not bunch up underneath the robe. So for me, that's what works, okay? And also because I have this, and as you can tell, it's getting kind of in bad shape, and it gets jostled a lot when I put a robe on. And so, again, the white beater on the other side as well. And so my daughter put the robe on very carefully so that this doesn't get jostled, because when this gets jostled, it hurts, it's uncomfortable, and I don't want that crap. None of that exists in my world. Nothing uncomfortable exists in my world that I created. And so then there's that. So I'm up. She helps me with my robe on. In the beginning, I needed what do you call those belts? I needed a gait belt to be ambulated, to be moved around. Now I really don't. I just need somebody to walk with me to make sure that I'm okay. And anyway, so but yeah, you can have someone put a gate belt around you. You can have somebody walk behind you with a chair, not a chair, a wheelchair. So to catch you just in case you fall. Again, this is your world outside. You make the choices. It's what makes you comfortable. But you also, when you make these choices, all these choices, you have to get input from the outside world. It's not just, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and because that's the outside world. And you have to be respectful of the outside world. Because yes, you're building a lane for yourself in the outside world, but there's a lot of people out there. There's nurses that you have to consider, there's family members you have to consider, and so there's a lot that you have to consider before you make your lane in the outside world, okay? So now you're ready, you have your robe on, and you're ready to go out there, okay? For me, part of my outside world is that I know that you can easily, get sick. There's MRSA out there, there's, people coming in and out, and so when I leave my world in the bedroom, I put a mask on. So the person who's gonna walk me, which is usually my daughter, my husband, they have to wear a mask as well. Okay? And so this floor is triangular. Okay?
No, it's
Isn't it?
a rectangle.
Is it rectangular?
It's a rectangle.
See, in my mind, it was triangular. My daughter's telling me it's a rectangle. And the more you say it, and the more I say it, you're right, it is rectangular.
Can you imagine if the floor was triangular?
I know, it's weird.
I'm sorry.
See, I said that word without even thinking.
I love you.
Yeah, no, that's weird. Anyway, so, what did we say it was?
Rectangular.
Rectangular. And, okay, so my room is kind of pretty much at the end of a rectangle. So, and also we count the laps. For me, I want to know how many laps I'm doing. It makes me happy. Just to know the progress of it all. And so we write down the laps. And it's just it's progress for me. It makes me feel progress that I am being pro
Proactive?
proactive. That's the word. I'm being proactive in my journey. That is for me the most important thing, to be proactive in my journey, because that's how I'm going to make it. That is how I choose to make it. I'm making my choices in strength, not in weakness. Weakness is going to come, and weakness is going to go. And I'm not allowing weakness in my life. But right now, it's knowledge and it's power. And that's all I can deal with. Because weakness comes, and it wants to tear you down. And so for you, it's up to you. You're going to have your moments where you're going to cry. I cried this morning, and then I said, weakness, goodbye, you're gone. You know, not in my world. And so, anyway, go back to walking. So you're out there, you have a gown. I have chosen that in my world out there, and this is kind of unbreakable for me, I'm going to have at least contact with the other people and the other rooms. Because like I said, there's obviously there's MRSA in every hospital. And I've been here since Wednesday?
Thursday.
I can't believe it. In my mind, I keep thinking I've only been here for 2 days. But it's been more than 2 days. And it's been a blessing. And I'll tell you another video why it's a blessing, but that's not important right now. Anyway, so in my world, I walk, and so I hate to explain this. There's a corridor, right? And so the doors to the other patients' bedrooms, they're on the outside of the corridor. So I choose, as soon as I go out into the hallway, to stay on the inside of the corridor, which, gets me away from the other clients. It gets me away from the clients. It gets me as away as I can be from the nurses, so they have their room to maneuver everything, because they have a lot to maneuver. And they have these walking stations that they go from room to room. I think they're amazing. How are we doing on time?
7.5 minutes.
Perfect. So I choose to stay out of their way. In my world I've created, I'm in the inner wall, and I hardly ever leave that. Unless I have to go around somebody, that is part of my world. Walking along the hallway on the inner side. There are times that I have to swing a little bit, especially in the corners, and you have to do that. You have to do that, because if you don't do okay, so you're going in the corner, and you kind of go a little bit outwards, and this is when you're passing a corner. You go a little bit outwards, and you go there's no more cutting the corner in your world, because that hurts. It's more like you swing out a little bit, and you swing in, and you pass, and you pass, and you pass. So your body, in your world, in your pathway, you're doing that, and then you go like this. There's no more boop, boop, that's out. For as long as it needs to be, from the beginning, that is no longer part of your plan, and you have to start adjusting to that. For the fact that that's going to cause you pain, and because it causes you pain, it's not in your pathway. You have to remove it. Anything causes pain, it's got to go out of your pathway. So those are conscious thoughts that you have to make while you're walking, and adjustments that you have to make while you're walking, okay? So, and then you have to tell the person behind you also. You just don't do this blindly, because the person who's walking behind you with a wheelchair or a gator belt. A gator belt? Is that what it's called?
A gate belt.
Gate belt. A gator belt. Like it's like an alligator. Stop. Okay. So the person has the gate belt, or is walking with the wheelchair behind you. They have to be made aware of these things, because they're not a mind reader, and so so you got to tell them why. The why. It's like a Twin Peaks episode. Everything you're past the act. You're past the who, but now you have to do the why, and so you have to share the why. And it's okay. They're not gonna understand, and it's okay. It's your pathway. As long as you understand, you guide them. The guiding is the most important part. The guiding is to be hard.
10 minutes.